Charging your worth isn't just about numbers. It's about self-worth, confidence, and breaking free from the fear of disappointing others. For so many creative service providers, pricing feels personal. The guilt, the doubt, the what if my clients leave me panic. It's real. I see you. And I know it because I've lived it. So in today's episode, we're tackling why so many of you ambitious creative entrepreneurs struggle to charge fairly and how to finally step into the confidence of knowing your prices are justified without second guessing yourself every step of the way. I'll be sharing my own journey, including the terrifying moment I doubled my prices and the pushback that followed, along with practical strategies to ensure your business is sustainable without sacrificing your passion. So grab your cozy socks, friend, your favorite blanket, and get comfy because we're about to dismantle the fear and self-doubt keeping you undercharging for your incredible work. Let's dive in. Hey there, you just stumbled into the Anxious Creative Podcast, where overthinking turns into ahas, mess-ups become magic, and anxious spirals, totally part of the process. I'm Dawn Bradley, your messy, imperfect host, here to help you, the recovering people pleaser, the perfectionist, to stop chasing the unachievable and start embracing the chaos. Spoiler alert, that's where the real magic happens anyway. So buckle up, friend, because we're about to have some laugh so hard till you cry moments, a few hard truths to help you grow, and naturally a little, or let's be honest, a lot, of oversharing. You ready? Let's dive in. If you want to know what the biggest struggle people face is when it's charging their worth, this is the podcast episode for you. If you've ever felt guilty about charging your prices or worried your clients are going to leave you or what's going to happen next, you are not alone. I've had that exact same feeling. Most service providers don't know what to charge because they don't actually know what their worth is. And I know we hear a lot of people being like, charge your value, not your worth. But when I say worth is like, you don't actually know what a fair price is for you or your clients. And because you love what you do, because we're creative people, we devalue what we do a lot. And so today, in today's episode, we're going to break down exactly how to charge your worth in a way that's fair to you, your business, and your clients. I know right now you're caught in this cycle of self-doubt, of wondering if you should be charging this much, if you're a failure. You're stuck in people-pleasing, in thinking that you have to do, the customer is always right, and you have to do whatever you can, always, whenever, for them, or your business will crumble. And your clients are actually doing you a favor by even being willing to come see you. We need to flip that script. I used to be completely terrified about raising my prices. And I remember in 2019, I actually doubled my prices. I completely changed the whole structure of my business. And as a creative service professional, as a hairstylist, I realized I had built a business that I wasn't in love with anymore. And so I decided to change it. I stopped double booking. I went back to only seeing one client. I decided to elevate the experience for my client. And I knew that some people wouldn't stay with me. And that was okay. I knew I would attract more of the right people. But the thought of disappointing people was so scary. But I knew that my prices needed to change to reflect the experience, the service, the attention, and the detail that I was going to give my clients. It didn't take away the fear of doing it. And I remember instilling this price increase, explaining it as best as I could as with the tools and the communication skills that I had at the time, and I still got pushback. And that fear of disappointing people, misunderstanding, people misperceiving, people telling me that I'm not allowed to, or what I would perceive as not allowed to, people being like, must be nice, or I've talked to other people and I know other people will be upset, and all this feedback, which in reality was maybe 3 emails from my entire clientele. But those 3 emails really hurt and they stick with you. And I'm wondering if for you, if that fear of raising your prices or that fear of charging your worth comes from one incident in your past. What's the first thing that comes up when you think about it? That fear of someone telling you you're not allowed to, or that you need external permission. And I need to tell you, friend, right now, that just because no one else has done it doesn't mean you can't. Meaning you run your own business. You are your own boss. There's no set of rules of how you have to do things. Now, will you suffer the consequences, positive and negative, of how you do things? Yes. I remember having this scenario and this conversation with my partner at the time, being like, what if all my clients leave? Because that's the fear, right? And what if all my clients leave? And he's, okay, Dawn, so let's play this game. What if all your clients leave? Then what? And I was like, I built and rebuilt my clientele 6 times on 3 different continents. I know how to build a clientele. He's like, yeah, what would you do if they all leave? I guess I would try to get new clients. I'm like, what if new clients don't even want to come with these prices? He's okay, so if no new clients don't come with these prices, then what? I'm like, I guess I'd adjust how I market myself and how I try to get people in. He's like, okay, so you do that. And I'm like, but then still, what if nobody comes? It's, okay, so all your clients leave, you can't get new people, you try some new things, people aren't coming, then what? And I'm like, oh, I guess then I reevaluate if the experience and the services I'm offering is something that people actually want. And maybe what I created isn't maybe something what people want. So then I have to survey people and ask them what would they want in a hair appointment or from a hairstylist, and what are they looking for? And ask people who I want as my ideal client, not people that I don't want. And he's okay, and then what? I'm like, and then I adjust my sales and I build a business that people are looking for. And then what? And I was like, and then I reevaluate if my prices and my service align, and then I get people coming in because that's what they're looking for. And it's once you peel back the layers, you realize, oh, I'm just scared of having a bruised ego, of trying something new and possibly failing. I'm not scared to charge my worth. I'm not scared to change my prices. I'm scared that if I take messy, immediate, imperfect action, I might trip or fall or fail, and people might see me doing that. And I just want to get things right the first time. But I need you to understand that's not how life works. That's not how life works. You have to be willing to be seen failing. And it's not like you're going to lose everything. If you keep doing something that's not working, yeah, you could lose everything. But if you adjust your sales quick enough, you'll be okay. But the reason why so many people fail at raising their prices and charging their worth is because they let their ego take a hold of it. They get so in their head and they're afraid of what will people think of me. I don't want to disappoint people. The people pleasing comes over. And then, or we get really stubborn and we try something and we're going for it. I see a lot of people like charge your worth, and then they're possibly overcharging or thinking that charging your worth means gouging, which isn't true. You want to feel a little uncomfortable with what you're charging, but also know why you came up with that. And so I see my students in Rock Your Business using the metrics that matter calculator, where you pop in what your expenses are, what your prices are, what your services are. We figure out what services are losing you money, because sometimes you don't need to raise your prices on everything. Sometimes there's just a few services that you actually are losing money on. And then it calculates everything for you to let you know if you're hitting your goals or not, if you're even breaking even, or what you're actually paying yourself hourly. Do you actually know what your business is able to give you after it pays all its bills? You don't have to figure it out. Don't worry. You don't stress about it. I literally take all the stress out of it in the metrics that matter inside of Rock Your Business. So when you know exactly what your services cost you, like what your business needs from the money that a client is paying you before you're even allowed to consider paying yourself anything, it is eye-opening. All of a sudden, that $200 that you're taking from that client you think you're putting in your pocket, go, oh, that $200, 50 of that goes to my rent, another 25 goes to the supplies, another this goes to this, and then that $100 that's left over the $500 or 5 hours is $20 an hour. So many creative service professionals, hairstylists, estheticians, dog groomers, you name it, are actually almost paying themselves just above minimum wage. And feeling guilty about it because you see the total and because you don't want to look at your business like a business owner because you're a creative. And I get it. I so understand. But the reason why you're failing at charging your worth is because you don't actually know how much you're paying yourself. And you're headed for failure. And not just failure as in like failures of pathway to success. You're headed to leaving the industry, getting so frustrated and resentful of your clients, feeling taken advantage of and walked all over. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news and a little tough love with Dawn, but the reality is that you're the one doing it to yourself. And I know you think that you're like dying on a hill of, I care so much for other people, but the way you can truly care for other people is taking care of yourself first. And this is something that I've learned. I knew it. Put your oxygen mask on first. I knew it, but it's just like resounding on such a deeper level. The best way you can help other people is taking care of your wealth, health, and well-being. And so if you're not paying yourself enough, if your supplies are going up and your prices aren't changing, then you're giving yourself a pay decrease. Your business is losing money. And anybody who's in a corporate world understands this, right? And yet we are solopreneurs, self-employed, entrepreneurs. We want that title, the CEO, and yet we don't want to look at our business like a business. We want to say we're a business owner. I remember in 2010 when I went out on my own for the first time, I was so excited to tell people I owned a business because finally maybe people would take me out of this box of just a hairstylist. I loved being like, oh, I own my own business. And yet was I treating my business like a business? No, I was treating it like a hobby, like a fun thing that I did because I love playing with hair. And it is fun, but it's not that hard and it's not that scary. And I know you're scared of looking at the business side because you're like, that's not my area of expertise. If you wanted to run businesses, you wouldn't be doing the creative work that you're doing. You love what you do. You love the art. You love the craft, the skill, the connection with people. But if you want to be successful and help people for the long haul, if you truly care about your clients and you want to continue to serve them, you'll take care of your business so it can stay open. Because I hate to break it to you, but supplies are going to continue to go up. Costs are going to continue to go up. And if you don't actually know what you're taking home or able to take home, if you don't raise your prices in accordance with your costs, slowly that gap is going to get smaller, that margin that you make, and soon you're going to be out of business and you're not going to be able to take care of people. So stop thinking you're doing the honorable thing by sacrificing yourself and your ability to earn an income, thinking that's taking care of a client who's had a hard day. I had a client come in today, let me know they got let go of their job. Now, passed on would have been like, oh, should I just give them a free haircut? And that's not, they're still choosing to come in. Your clients are choosing to come in, and what you need to understand is when they share with you the hardships they're going through, it's not a plea, maybe there might be an exception, but it's not a plea for you to give them a discount. They love the connection, the empathy, the compassion, the shoulder to cry on, the listening ear that you provide with your service. You don't need to adjust your prices. And this is why your empathy and your compassion are getting in the way of you succeeding. Because you think, oh, now I feel uncomfortable and I love what I do and I love my client and I would be their friend outside of this anyway. So you know what? I don't even need to make money off of this. But if you don't charge, if you give away services for free, in the metrics that matter inside of Rock Your Business, I show my students what your business costs you per hour that you're open. So if a client no shows or you don't charge someone, you comp them something, I'm not saying you can't do that. But if you don't understand that your business still costs you per hour, if you break down what your rent is over all the hours that you work, if you break down what your supplies and what your utilities cost, what your internet costs, there's a cost to your business per hour that you're open. And we understand that you might second guess comping a client. You might go, oh, you know what? Let me give you a discount instead. Now, I'm not a big discount giver, but you understand if it costs you $50 per hour that you're open when you break down the costs of your business, which again, Metrics That Matter does all of this calculating for you. It's amazing. When you break that down, then you understand what your business actually costs you. I've taken all the scary work out of understanding your business as a business owner, putting that business hat on so that you can stay focused on the creative stuff you love. Because you need to know this stuff about your business. It's really important. But I don't want you to lose the compassion and empathy. I don't want you to get all like robotic and business-like and lose the passion and excitement and creativity. Most creative service professionals, hairstylists, estheticians, dog groomers, you name it, massage therapists, freelancers, graphic artists, graphic designers, they fail at charging their worth because you're letting your emotions, your empathy and compassion take over and override the business side. And I can tell you, you can be more compassionate, even more empathetic to your clients when you take the stress off your plate of having to understand your business and your numbers. When you join Rock Your Business, for example, and you see how simple it can be and how stress-free it can be, and that knowledge is power. And when you stop turning a blind eye to your numbers and you start understanding them in a simple way that is done for you so that you don't have to stress about it, you can actually relax and go, oh, I feel way more confident in what I'm charging. I know that my prices are justified. I know that my prices make sense. I know that my prices are fair to me, my business, and my client. And if someone was to push back, I'm not going to feel insecure and I'm not going to feel scared because I feel confident that this is a fair price. I know you want to feel that. I know you want to feel confident in charging your clients, but you're just not there yet. And I need you to know that this is what I do and this is how I help, and you're not alone, and you have to take that step out of your comfort zone. Tonight, I am going to adult gymnastics for the first time, and I am so nervous to go somewhere new. I have the new place anxiety, and I'm like, where is it? Where do I go? Is someone going to meet me? It's just like the unknown. Even when I remember going and parking downtown, and I live inner city in Calgary, but I still get nervous about parking. Like, where can I park? Is there a parking spot? How long is it going to find me? How long is it going to take to find a parking spot? How early should I go? I know the anxiety loop that goes on in your head. So know that as you step into uncharted territory of charging your worth, charging your value, charging fairly, so that your business can be sustainable for the long haul, so that you can make good money, stress-free, and take care of people, you need to take the stress out of knowing that you're charging fairly and being able to stand back and not going, is this okay? Going, hey, these are my prices. And if someone goes, whoa, that's expensive, go, I understand if this isn't within your budget. Let me know if you want to look at other services that I provide, or if there's someone else that I can refer you to. And when you're so confident in knowing that what you provide and what you offer is worth it and that people will value it, you'll be surprised how you become a magnet to people coming to you. Because if you question yourself, other people are going to question. Whoa, that's really expensive. Oh, is it? They're going to be like, oh my gosh, she thinks it is too. Maybe she's not worth it. Where if someone goes, whoa, that's expensive, be like, I understand that it's on the higher end, and I understand if this doesn't work for you, but know that I have calculated this very fairly, and I know that the service I provide is really worth it. But if this doesn't fit for you or isn't in alignment with what you need, I totally understand. You have to be willing not to play chicken, but to stand firm. And when you develop that confidence that my students inside of Rock Your Business have, that they're developing through knowledge and understanding and taking stress, it is amazing what happens. So you need to set your prices based on facts, not feelings. That's what I need you to understand. You need to not feel bad charging more. You need to ask, what do I need to charge in order to have a sustainable business? And knowing that giving free stuff isn't going to, like that, it feels so good when people tell you, oh my gosh, you're the only one, or oh my gosh, I love how you do this. I know that feels good, but you have to stop sacrificing your ability to earn and your income just for a compliment. Developing your own inner sense of worth, your self-esteem, is essential in order to charge your value and your worth. If you keep outsourcing your worth and your value and your self-esteem to other people telling you how amazing you are, so then therefore you give away more, you overcompensate, you stretch yourself too thin, you undercharge, you emotionally discount, because it feels so good when they're like, oh, thank you so much. And for that fleeting moment, you feel like maybe I am worthy, but I'm only worthy by what I do and what I give. So you keep giving and you keep overdoing. And the moment you start to go, I am freaking amazing as I am, and I'm a big deal and I can do hard things, and their approval of me, their compliments does not dictate my worth. Even if a client never said thank you again, even if a client never told me I'm the only one who knows how to do their hair, even if a client never praised me and profusely told me that how amazing I was, I'd still know that I'm a kick-ass hairstylist that has so much talent and is worth it. You need to develop that inner sense of self-worth, which comes from confidence, and confidence comes from courage and vulnerability, which comes from being honest with yourself about where you're at with your business. If you don't know and understand your numbers because you're scared and it is overwhelming and that side of business isn't your thing, Rock Your Business 100% is the right place for you. I know that Rock Your Business will help you get a firm grasp and understanding on your business side of things and your numbers without being overly technical, overly wordy, over numberies. I mean, I'm not a numbers person myself, and I've made it so easy for you, and the community is there, the accountability is there, and it's a bunch of goofy, awkward oversharers that are ambitious but slightly anxious, that want to do well and don't fit the common mold. And so if you're interested in Rock Your Business, shoot me a DM over on Instagram at Dawn Bradley, or check out the link in the description below this video on how exactly to join. I also have a free masterclass on how to go from overcomplicating everything to being more profitable. You can check out as well at dawnbradley.com/free class. But friend, I need you to know that sacrificing yourself in the name of empathy and compassion is no longer in vogue. Self-worth, self-compassion, self-esteem, and self-confidence is what will help you build a long-term sustainable business. Yes, you can make a long list of to-dos. Yes, I could give you step-by-step of exactly how to charge your worth, but you won't do it unless you develop that inner sense of worth. And that's why all these courses, all these programs, all these things are collecting digital dust on some shelf somewhere on your computer. Because it's not about knowing what to do, it's about actually doing it. And there's an emotional and mental block that you're stuck on because you don't think you're allowed to. You're waiting for external permission. You're stuck in that 5-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever that age you were, where you felt like, I'm not allowed to. And I need you to know that you are allowed to. No one's standing over you with a ruler, slapping their hand, being like, don't you step out of line. I want you to step out of line, friend. I want you to build a business that is solely what you want to create. Stop asking for permission. Stop looking for external approval, and start living and building your life and your business for that version of yourself that didn't think she was allowed to. You're so freaking amazing and you don't even know it. And I see it, I believe it, and I trust that you will move forward. And yes, you might have speed bumps, roadblocks, and detours along the way. You might get bruised, scratched, and bumped up. But I will tell you, as a almost 42-year-old woman who has built and rebuilt my clientele 6 different times on 3 different continents, who got my dream job at 24 and completely sabotaged it, thinking, who am I? They must have done a mistake. I'm just a small town, shy, anxious, awkward girl. How am I living in Sydney, Australia for the hairstylist of the year, hired on as a lead colorist? Sabotaged, left. Who got married at 26, thinking I was old because my friends were married and having kids. Got married to the wrong man. I used to judge people that got divorced after a couple years, and all of a sudden there I was getting divorced after a couple years. I will tell you, 2 years is a very long time when you're in something that is very toxic and unhealthy. I've had a lot of bumps and bruises and scratches along my life. I've suffered at the harm of other people's decisions and choices in life, and I've also made really bad decisions and choices in my life. And I've suffered the good and bad consequences of my good and bad choices. But I'm not a bad person and I'm not a failure. I have failed. I'm not a failure. Will I fail more? Yes, I'm still not a failure. I don't let the actions and the consequences, whether positive or negative, define who I am as a human. Because the more experiences that I have in life, the more I have in this suitcase of like a suitcase or a library of experiences that I can draw upon that create knowledge and wisdom for me. Friend, I don't want you to think that you have to get it right all the time. I have gotten it wrong so many times. I've fried someone's hair off. I've mistoned someone's hair. I've panicked and not thought clearly about the knowledge that I have of chemistry. And I have made wild mistakes that in my calm right mind, I'm like, what was I thinking? But in my anxious panic attack mind, wasn't able to see clearly. And I've learned not to judge myself on my mistakes and failures. The more compassion you have for yourself, to allow yourself to mess up, the more compassion you'll have for other people. The less you stop judging other people, the less you'll stop judging yourself. And you'll free up your ability to step out confidently and with abandon in who you actually are, who your authentic self is, and what you should charge. I don't even want to say should because I don't like the shoulds. We should never should ourselves. But what you can charge, what you're worthy of. But you need to start believing that you are worth it and that you're allowed to. And that fearful little child inside of you, that version of you that is, what if I get in trouble? Or what if people are upset with me? I had to do this the other day. I'm like, no one's going to come discipline me. If people are disappointed with me, if people don't like me, that's okay. I'm still safe. And I had to sit there as a 41-year-old woman going, I am safe right now. There is no threat. If someone is disappointed with me, that's okay. If someone doesn't like this, that's okay. I'm still okay. And whatever happens from this scenario, whether your clients leave or whether they stay, whether your client that's been with you for 10 years that you feel like your family, if they reject your new price increase and you feel like, oh my gosh, that just confirms that we weren't as close as we thought. That was one of the hardest ones for me, is losing clients that I thought were more like family, that I thought would support me no matter what. And then it wasn't support no matter what. And I realized that it wasn't a reciprocal relationship. It was a business transaction. And that was hard because I developed these connections and bonds with my clients. And for a price increase to sever that and for it to get weird sometimes with clients or clients to get really upset, it was confusing because I felt like we were so close. And that confirmation of the closeness and the relationship not being what I thought it was heartbreaking. And it was like a breakup and a grieving of sorts. And I know how hard it is for you to let go of people because so much of your identity is wrapped up in what other people praise you for. So the moment that you start to seek out yourself, start to pursue yourself for your sense of self-worth and your self-identity, not outsourcing it, you will be amazed at how quickly your business grows, how quickly you're able to make moves in your business, make moves in your life. The reason why people are failing, the reason why anxious, ambitious, creative entrepreneurs are failing at charging their worth, because they don't truly believe they're worth it. Ooh, friend, we just went deep, but I know you needed to hear that. Charging your worth isn't about slapping a random number on your service and hoping for the best. It's about knowing deep in your bones that you deserve to make good money without guilt, stress, or bending over backwards for people who treat your business like a bargain bin. So here's your homework. Stop questioning if you're allowed to charge more. Spoiler alert, you are. Set your prices based on facts, not feelings. And if someone side-eyes your prices, just smile, nod, and remember, you're not Walmart. And hey, if you're still spiraling about this, don't stress. I got you. Just head to dawnbradley.com/free class to grab my free masterclass and learn how to stop overcomplicating your business and actually profit for once. Or if you're ready to go all in, Rock Your Business is here to make sure you never second guess your pricing ever again. Next week, we're getting into something even juicier. Why most service providers fail at charging their worth and how to change it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. So until then, charge your damn worth. Stop apologizing for existing. And remember, your dream clients aren't looking for a discount. See you next week.